Hello there, Bryant Cook, and as always, we are playing the Epic Storm. In front of you is version 9.3. I've been posting about it on Twitter the last few days, so you might have seen that. Uh, yeah, so if you're unfamiliar with it, the highlights of this list are we are back to playing 4 Thoughtseize in the 75, and we are back to the Swamp mana base. Other than that, it's pretty similar to what we've been playing. We'll break it down. So, excuse me, just ate lunch. A little gassy. Uh, the Swamp Mana Base. So Alex wrote an article about playing the island mana base. So you have a basic island, tropical island, and then you still have Underground Sea, Volcanic Island, and Badlands. Instead of Bloodstained Mires, you have Scalding Tarns. I ran this at the Leaving a Legacy Open number 6 that I top aided. It's fine. It's not a bad mana base. It's completely acceptable. I never really liked it. I just think that having two non-combo colored mana sources is a lot to ask. And there was a number of games where I just lost to my own mana base. Like I couldn't make black mana, and it was a real, uh, I don't know, it sucked. That's what I'm trying to say. It fucking sucked. So I'm not playing it anymore. It's not. I'm being a little hard on it. It's fine. I just prefer the Swamp Mana base, but I like it even more when we're playing Thoughtseize. Because turn 1 fetch basic Swamp Thoughtseize and a turn 2 Wishclaw Talisman is very good. So that's why we're back to playing the Swamp Mana base. The artifact count should look pretty similar if you've been paying attention over the last few months. No main deck Chain of Vapor. That's because we have 3 copies of Thoughtseize. So the Chain of Vapor came up as a like nice main deck card, maybe one in every 20 to 30 matches. And that's fine for a one of, but it's not stellar. Like it's pretty good. That number goes way down when you add Thoughtseize because you're often discarding those cards before they ever even hit the battlefield. So I don't want to try to force a Chain of Vapor into our main deck right now, on top of playing Thoughtseize, because what does that number then become? 40 to 50? I don't want to play a card in my main deck for 40 to 50 matches. So Chain of Vapor is living in the sideboard right now. We still have 4 copies of main deck Veil of Summer, but the big reason we're playing Thoughtseize is a few reasons. One, Veil of Summer has gone down in stock. This is partially due to Silence taking over the metagame, and that's from Jeskai Breach, which is an insanely tough matchup for us. But on top of that, the Breach deck is weak to Thoughtseize because they run Silence, so it's a rock paper scissors trap that we're currently caught in. And Thoughtseize has improved a lot of matchups, including the prison matchups, the mid range matchups. Um, Overall, 9.3 just feels degenerate. Like you have the best of both worlds. It feels very, very powerful. I 5-0'd 2 prelims this week, and it's been amazing. I'm really happy with this list. So we still have a defense grid in the sideboard, which has been very good. If you, I guess you can't watch those because I didn't record them, but if you play some matches, you'll notice that it ends up pulling its weight. You can still search for it off Wishclaw Talisman. It's a great card to have. I'm a really big fan. The Chain of Vapors are still the best cards for answering things like Karn, Chalice for 0, so many others. Abrupt Decay is really for deafening silence and Chalice of the Void on 1. Counterbalance has come back a little bit, but I already think that's dying off again. But Abrupt Decay is really for deafening silence out of these blue decks, like the 4-color Miracles lists. Thoughtseize is a wish target. Often gets boarded in, so it's very flexible, unlike a lot of the other wish targets, in my opinion. And the rest of this should look pretty stock. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section, but we're going to hop in and play some games. And if you haven't already, please head over to theepicstorm.com/shop and show your support. Get your Scalding Turns, Mox Opals, Lion's Eye Diamonds, Ad Nauseums, Echo of Aeons, and so much more. Alright, we have an opponent. We are facing Land Me. I have no clue what they're playing. I didn't bother Googling them, and I know for a fact they're not in my spreadsheet. This hand's pretty good. We'll try this. Oh, we have someone that says good luck, have fun. We're probably dying turn one. It's not bad, but this isn't really what we want either. I'm going to shuffle this. Burn. Okay. Good matchup. We revealed Dark Ritual off the Goblin Guide. You'll love to see it. We actually get to do something pretty cool here. Alright. So we're going to cast this Witchclaw Talisman. We're going to cast Echo, or cast Ad Nauseam with the Chromax trigger on the stack. This will allow us to imprint. We've already revealed the Echo, so the worst is gone. We don't have to worry about Fire Blast, so we're just going to stop here. Alright, so that was a pretty good game for us. We're going to be taking out these Veil of Summers. I don't actually like Ad Nauseam in the matchup either. And Thoughtseize. It's pretty easy. Boarding in a lot of threats and some answers to Eidolon. So it's important that if you're going to board in threats, you also stay threat dense. And I feel like sometimes people overboard one way, and then they spend the entire time with like answers in their hand and never enough business, or they'll get clogged on business but not have enough answers. So Thoughtseize, it's not great here. You're better off answering Eidolon after it's hit the table than losing 2 life. At least in my experience, because it shuts off the empty line, in my opinion. This hand's interesting. Let's see what our opponent does. They mulligan to 6. I think we can do better. If this was the Vancouver mulligan, I'd probably keep this, but with the London, we're going to ship it. And this hand is trash. This hand is great. We have 10 goblins on the first turn with this hand. We could even hardcast Echo Vans, I believe. No, we're 1 short of that. I'm sorry. This hand only makes 5 mana. So this is an empty for 10 on turn 1. Swift Spear. Well, now we could hardcast the Echo. I'm still not going to, though. But we could do the flashback mode on Echo. The question is if that's better than 12 goblins. Probably not, in my opinion. The odds that our opponent kills us from 3 cards in their hand is very low. $12 should do it. In theory, our opponent could go land, land, volcanic fallout, but we're not going to play around that. There's no point. That was a good draw. We're going to go get Grape Shot. So that way, if we draw another Lotus Petal or Rite of Flame next turn, we can Grape Shot for lethal. Alright, so... And this should probably do it. I doubt they're going to kill us from 18 life with 2 Swift Spears in play. Our opponent says good games. Cool. Alright, 1-0. Maybe I'll remember to update a record this time. And I'm going to shill again. So if you appreciate the content that you're watching, head over to theepicstorm.com/shop and get some TES merchandise. My personal favorite item is the Storm 20 baseball tee, followed by the Black Belcher tee. We also have things like pint glasses, play mats, pens, storm counters, and more. We are facing Reed Duke, Reader Rabbit. We're on the play. Ah, if this was a black source. Our hand is not very good. Alright, we're going to keep this. I don't love it, but I'm not going to go to 5 when we have Echo. A Lionside Diamond off the top at any point, either just from being drawn or a cantrip, really puts you ahead, because then you have a protected Echo. Looks like Reed is on the 4-color Miracles list. Great draw. Get Volcanic here. Not bad. You don't really need this Burning Rush. I wonder if Reed hit his land. Why is he taking so long? Reed did not hit his land, which means that he probably kept a hand with a number of Force of Will. We're not going to show the Bayou yet. This leaves Thoughtseize open, and we actually brainstormed into it, so that was pretty nice. Cast Thoughtseize here. Now we're going to get the Bayou. I think we almost want to just allow Reed to Pyroblast here, because we need to resolve the Echo later anyway, so we'll just double Ponder. This isn't bad, it doesn't advance our game plan at all. We really want to find a Lion's Head Diamond. What we can do is start pressuring Reed via Empty the Warrens, which isn't the worst thing that you can do. Or this resolves, so Reed decides to force this. I think I'm okay with that. Because I don't really want to empty anyway. Alright, so it's important to keep in mind that Reed now has access to Snapcaster Pyroblast for our Echo. And Veil Summer will stop Pyroblast. And there's our Lion's Eye Diamond, right on time. If this is a Force of Will, it's a little bit awkward because we played our mana early. So if he forces, we know that Reed has Snapcaster Pyroblast. So maybe that was a small misplay on my part. Hopefully we don't get punished. Okay, so that resolved. We're going to be flashing back Echo with a lot of mana floating. I think Reed is considering whether or not he would like to flash in Snapcaster Mage here to be an Ambush Viper. And we hit the best card in the deck. So at this point, we're trying to win via Grape Shot, so that way we can play around Veil of Summer. It's important to note that there's no longer an Echo Vans in our main deck either. Alright, we're going to stop there. That was very good. We cannot cast Thoughtseize. So in theory, Reed could have brainstormed or drawn into a Swords to Plowshare. So our magic number is actually 21 and not 19. So I'm thinking I might get a little bit bold here, and it is a little bit bold, but Burning Wishing for So we have 6 mana. We could go Wish for Grape Shot, Wish, or we just Burning Wish for Echo and then play Wish Claw with or empty, or I'm not even speaking correctly right now. Echo with a Wish Claw in play, and then hope to just hit 5 mana, so that way you can Wish Claw, activate Wish Claw, Burning Wish, Grape Shot, and that should do. I'm just trying to not lose to a drawn Swords to Plowshares here, because we can go Wish Claw into a spell, Burning Wish, Grape Shot, but then we lose to a Swords to Plowshares. I don't really want to do that. Okay, this will do. And this does beat Swords to Plowshares, so we ended up getting there. It was a little bit tough, but we did it. So I'm going to give the win to the Sideboard Echo on that one. And we're gonna hitting puberty here. Board out the Rite of Flames and bring in the Abrupt Decays. And I like boarding in one empty as a main deck win condition so you don't just flat out lose to a surgical. And once again, we are boarding in Abrupt Decay for Deafening Silence. Alright, back for game 2. We're on the draw. This hand seems fine. I would keep this all day. Did not shuffle. Don't need any of that, so we're going to shuffle that. Next turn, we're going to try to brainstorm and ponder before a possible Nurset can come down. Sure, you have rest in peace. LED was pretty good. Let's see what our brainstorm does. Not the best. But we're in pretty good shape, I feel like. Perfect. Alright, Astrolabe. Did not shovel. Alright, so we know we have Chromox on top. I'm going to try to not fetch unless I have to. I imagine that Reed has some sort of interaction here. But I would like to not have to fetch because we boarded out Rite of Flame, so I want to flip that Chromox to ad nauseam if possible. Brainstorm, that's fine. So we lose the double Force of Will here, which is what Reed had in game 1. There's one. I think I'm going to crack this for black. We're either losing or winning on this, so let's see it. Looks like we're winning. They say that, and then we have a terrible ad nauseum. Alright, so we still have an echo and an empty in the deck. This does not win. I feel like we're pretty far ahead. I'm wondering if we should just stop Thoughtseize and play Wishclaw. There's 2 LEDs left in the deck. Those both win us the game. But the problem is we're so far away that I don't think we should try to force it. Because outside of hitting another Lion's Eye Diamond, we're pretty far away from winning this game. Okay. So Reed has 3 lands. We only have the Swamp left in our deck as a fetchable land. Clearly we should have flipped. I feel like this is our window. That was really good. So if we put back these 2, I can Thoughtseize. Yeah, we got this. Okay. Hold control. Perfect. We took a careful line and we ended up getting there anyway. Um, so that's nice, but we would have won the game had we flipped. It's just really, there's no reason to put ourselves in that risk. Like, our hand was going to win the long game anyway. So you can think that, like, maybe I played coward, but, like, I don't think I did. I think I took a very uh, safe approach that I realized I was favored, and that's all we needed. So we ended up beating Reed, and now we're 2-0. Pretty cool. All right, we're facing our good friend Jack Kitchen. We're on the draw, likely playing Painter. I've had some really epic battles versus Jack recently, but we can't keep this. This is fine. Bottom the Burning Wish. I'm not going to fight over a Brainstorm with a Pyroblast, so... Oh, I was on the play. I didn't realize that. I was on the draw on my spreadsheet. Glad I didn't F6 through my first turn, because that's what I was going to do. That was really good. Put the Veil underneath the Burning Wish because that's one less damage we're going to reveal. So Jack plays one main deck Canonist, and he's played it against me twice on turn one the last two times we've played. I would really like to avoid that this time. Okay, that's a good sign. So we're actually going to cast Ad Nauseam with this Chromox trigger on the stack. So that way we can imprint something other than this Burning Wish. Ponder Thoughtseize. We'll stop there. Alright, Jack's going to concede. Very nice of him. Alright, so we got game one over Painter. Cool. I don't really like Veil that much in this matchup. I do like Thoughtseize, Abrupt Decay, and Chains. Setting out one Ponder. It's not that Ponder's bad, it's just that it's blue against a deck with, you know, a lot of Pyroblasts. You could board out Echo of Aeons, but I think having Echo in your deck has slightly more upside to it. Sanders doesn't do... it's fine, it's just a little slow. But I'm worried about if Jack just goes turn one, Mountain Go, we're sitting here all in on Ponder. This is part of the issue with Ponder in the matchup. I'm going to ship this. Going to 5. Jack also mulliganed, but we're going to 5, and Jack stopped at 6. It's pretty good. Wonder if we're just dead here. It's pretty good. Question is it enough? So I would say we put Ponder on the bottom and then Chain of Vapor on top. Okay, I think I like this. So we're going to target here. Assuming that this resolves, we'll sack a land, copy, sack a land, copy, attempt to bounce painter. And this should give us lethal storm. Am I wrong? +5. No, that's lethal. My math was correct. For a second there, I second guessed myself, and I was like, oh my god, am I one short? But we are not, and Jack should be dead. Mold a 5 and winning with a chain of vapor kill on turn 2. Pretty good. Alright, so that puts us up to 3-0. Had some pretty tough opponents so far. Burn not so much, but Reed and Jack are both very skilled legacy wizards. I'm not saying our burn opponent wasn't. It's just it's a very, very favorable matchup for us. So and now we get Romario. It's only legacy superstars this league. Romario also likes to play decks that crush us. We're on the draw. I think this hand's probably fine. Stage is fine. That's also okay. Get some info. So it looks like Romario's just on classic depths. Romario's looking to draw an Urborg or a discard spell here. Hopefully not the discard spell. Okay, so one scrying's fine. Golgari Depths is also a pretty favorable matchup for us, so hopefully you don't lose this. Yeah, I'm going to fire off this Brainstorm. Jeez, that was bad. Hopefully Romario finally draws a discard spell this turn, because Romario can't kill us from here. Unless, I guess he could if he drew a Crop Rotation this turn. It's a lot of lands. So I think it's actually the safest possible thing we can do is we can be a little bit risky in Echo, or we can just take a turn off and get Infernal Tutor here, then Ad Nauseam next turn. And if Romario drew the crop rotation, you tip your cap. You can't beat everything. But this is a much higher percentage line than anything else we could have been doing. All right, drawing Echo is actually really good for us because we don't want that in our deck. This is going to be an Ad Nauseam with 0 mana floating and a land drop. It's actually better to hold control, to not play your land here and then just reveal off Ad Nauseam, because you're going to reveal a fetch land. Like, that's just what's going to happen. And this way you could possibly reveal your Bayou or your Swamp that don't cost you a life. Alright, and Romario's seen enough. That was turn 4. Whoops, that is not how we sideboarded in this matchup. We actually board out Thoughtseize. A lot of these depth decks bring in their own Veils, and we don't want to be playing that game. Yeah, so we have to take out one more card, and I can't remember what the sideboard guide says. So we're going to look it up on theepicstorm.com. I updated this, finished updating it this morning, so. And it also is built using Alex McKinley's new card hover that he coded. Our old one was fine. This one's a little bit faster and it's more dynamic. So it's back compatible. So let's say in the future, let's say currently we don't have, I don't know, Bolas of Citadel in the card shop. But in the future, if we do, we just have to check a box and all of a sudden it knows that we have it in stock. So we'll link to our store instead of TCG Player or wherever. So Depths is in here. It says not to bring in Decay. Alright, let's lose the Collector. Maybe against Turbo we're supposed to bring in Decay. Just because of they're going to name Wishclaw. Mario shipped it to 6. This hand is not as bad as it seems. I want to keep this. I don't know why. I just do. Don't judge me. I think that it's really close. Damn. Turn 1 discard. Pretty probable out of the black-green depth stack, but I was hoping that it was just land pass or, I don't know. Not this. You don't root for the worst-case scenario. Ooh, taking Veil is very interesting. So, if Romario doesn't have Abrupt Decay, Force of Vigor, or Pithy Needle, we win on our next turn. So if Romario's hand is just a bunch of, you know, discard spells or making a Mirror Leech this turn, we win. We actually beat Mindbreak Trap here as well. And we will get a draw step after we're done revealing. This seems like a fine place to stop. Cast Ponder, why not? Actually, this was a brainstorm, jeez. Maybe Romario has ESG in hand. And he's conceded, so that puts us at 4-0. Could be playing for a trophy here. Been running pretty hot this week. See if we can get there. And if you're interested in getting better, we do offer tutoring sessions at theepicstorm.com. So if you're looking to improve your game, get a little bit better with TES, you can read what others have had to say, or you can head over to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Cool, cool, cool. We finally have an opponent. Match number 5 for the 5-0. We're on the play. Great hand. I do not know what our opponent is playing. We have an interesting decision here on whether or not you fetch for Underground Sea or Basic Swamp on turn 1. I'm sort of leaning for Underground Sea. Just because, like, I could Rite of Flame into Claw next turn, but I can't Ad Nauseam. I can only Echo, and I don't really want to Echo with a hand this strong. Looks like we're facing Miracles. Well, that was quite the draw. That's an Ad Nauseam as long as our opponent didn't draw Forceful. A triple opal. Let's see some other artifacts. Yikes. We're at 5. We actually only need one more artifact in order to win. I think I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to flip here. That will do. Now all of these act as Lotus Petals. Add a red. Add a red. We're safe to Thoughtseize here. And now we'll add a black. Hold control. Boom. Alright, we're one game away. Okay, so in this matchup, I like boarding out the rights. Same thing we did against Reed. We're going to bring in the defense grid. And these. That's how we board for Miracles. Strong hand. Did not shuffle. Very good draw. I'm going to get Badlands here, just so we can guarantee a red source. If we draw a land next turn, we actually have Thoughtseize into another... It's fine. Into an empty, which will probably win. I don't want to say it's going to, but most likely. We just need to draw a mana source here that makes a black or red mana. Rite of Flame will not do. Mox Opal would do. Lotus Petal would do. A black or red land would do. I wonder if they drew Veil for turn. Did not shuffle. Is that right? I don't know if they did shuffle. It's pretty good. So here we have the decision on whether or not to cast Infernal Tutor, because we've sided in an empty. So if we don't win, our opponent knows that we sided in an empty. But it comes down to, does 2 damage matter? So is there a difference between 14 and 16? Probably not. That said, I think I'm going to Infernal Tutor anyway. You never know with our opponent slamming an Oko next turn. Maybe the difference is 1 turn, and I'd rather not give them 1 turn. All right. It's worth noting that our opponent can't even cast Terminus. I just realized that. Hey, 5-0. We did it. We beat Miracles twice, Golgari Depths, Painter, and Burn. We defeated the Duke, Jet Kitchen, and Romario Vidal. So that's the Epic Storm version 9.3. Deck list is great. I've been on fire. Yeah. I'm hovering around 70% right now. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. Head over to theepicstorm.com/shop to show your support. And until next time, keep storming.